Kaboom! Hello, beautiful people, wherever you are. Welcome back. It's underscore Gintu evening session coming out from this date, which is 12th of March 2025. As I commence this kind of the video, talking about we have to get forward. And after realizing that who we are and how are we going to get forward, it's from your own affidavit, from your own phantom value. You have ever appreciated yourself and talking about we have to get forward and level it up. Because this is the way forward that we have to go and make it happen, despite the challenges, despite the hooliganisms, despite the unconditional affidavit of the time. But we have to second ourselves and talk about aiming higher. And guys, this is just much of the review that are going to be coming after purchasing one of the modern vehicle, talking about it's a Toyota car Probox that are going to be talking about the business has to continue going on. And I think much of the people are getting jealousy and much of the people are getting very fantastic because already I've got much of the congratulations from my subscribers. Thank you very much, everyone who's been tuned and locked in and talking about again to aiming higher. Aiming higher is what we need, and it's just a challenge and a call to much of the YouTubers, and that's what we are making here to make sure that we are getting forward. Even people will just gauge it. Kenge ever talked about the car has already been bought, which is called Safari. It's called the Safaris, and it has never landed unto here. And I told you just a day that I'm going to be bringing much of the car coming a brand new chapter. And the following day, I launched it live with you that the car had already arrived at home. And this is the beginning. Guys, I've got much of the congratulation from the ground and two teams, Lazy Gang and True Gang, and also we have the Kenge Fraternity. I've only received two of the congratulation. And for the real fact is we have even the people who are already into this kind of the phantom class, but the reality, they're not feeling it bad and good also. And the fact is we have to go forward. It's just a call for everyone to wake up and make things happen. Much of the people are just talking about Ogintu. It's a hard economy. How are you going to be making it happen? Guys, I talked about I've been ever planning since I was ever working for free. Making sure that I can just make it at one day. And for all the people talking about Ogintu, I was the lowest person in terms of the YouTube during the Ayamara fraternity, I was ever working, making sure that I'm aiming somewhere. And some of the people are thinking about, Gintu maybe is this way, and I was ever talking the truth. Because I cannot talk about this is what is causing this kind of the fishbowl not to work. Then I talk about I have not to talk about it so that I can teach to people and make sure that people are gaining. And the real fact is I'm always elevating and I'm telling people I don't have jealousy with anyone. I'm always feeding myself and talking about I have to feed others who can not have a meal of a day. That is a fact with Gintu. And for the support you always give me, I talk about this is my time then. Because I've ever been helping. And again, I have to help myself. Because even God says that whoever is helping himself, he will help himself too. And he will help and engage and get much of the things to the guy. Because you are helping yourself and helping other people. Not that we are only helping other people all the time, every time. That's what people are just missing. And they're talking about, Gintu, you should give us this kind of the platform of giving people and encouraging people and giving much of the people hope of a day. And that is what I'm always giving out because I've got a congratulation from David Jr. himself. He got me a congratulation in my chat talking about, bro, appreciation and kudos and whatever you are doing, let's struggle. And that is a salute class from I Am Marwa there. And another person is on trending. On trending from our class here, and those are the only two people I've just congratulated and talk about Ogintu. You have to get it. On trending, I'm gonna be visiting you. Keep it tuned. I'm going to be coming with the car until wherever you are. And I'm going to be bringing you a surprise from Nyambo Hanse. Maybe some of the people think about we don't have surprise. Matoke here. On trending, tell me if you want Matoke. Matoke, we have Matoke here like it's a very rally. Like right now, I have like 6 of the bananas onto the store. They want to ripe and the people eat here like it's a very rally. It's going to be whenever they ripe, We rhyme with them here. We're gonna be having a little celebration, and I are gonna be having much of the people getting a little bit of a celebration here and there to make sure that the car is being launched. And already we have went to the priest has just prayed, and we have. Thank you very much, the living God. And Allah is with us every time, and we are making it happen. That is the fact that is coming out, and everyone who has been tuned, I know much of the people are just wondering. Yes, it's not that they cannot have the congratulations, but some of them, they're just wondering, how is it happening that Gintu is making this kind of the things simple? And the things are just happening because the construction is ongoing, and talk about... much of the things are coming. Talk about the brand new car is there. Some of the people are just wondering, oh, Gintu, how are you making it? How are you trying that kind of the best way of getting money and getting such kind of the things? Guys, I talked about as how you just relate yourself, because I saw this kind of a history. When I want to direct this kind of the talk to much of the boys, the young generation, the people want to make it. Some of the people are talking about, Gintu, please, can I be alongside you and I learn from you? And I'm gonna be giving. I don't have any kind of the jealousy with anyone. If your day will come that you will have to succeed, no one will ever pull the rope behind. Today I'm going to be preaching to you guys, and I'm going to be telling you the fact. Because some of the people think about, you have to be with maybe a lot of fans so they can just be watching your videos and whatever small you have. Some of the people don't realize that the simple people you have, the low people you have onto your YouTube channel, they are so helpful. They're so helpful. Much of the people are still thinking about you have to get a bigger YouTube channel so you can make things happen. That's a failure. I'm telling you, that's a failure. And never organize yourself thinking about you're going to be depending only that, this kind of the person from here, this other person from here. Yes, we always have no money. Like, guys, some of the times whenever I'm always paying even the top masons here, the boys I'm always having onto the job here, maybe planting maize, maybe doing the bricks there, maybe doing the simple jobs around here, maybe constructing a fish pond here. Whenever sometimes I talk about today there's no money, you can understand me until tomorrow. But tomorrow come again to the job, maybe I'll have collected some small money that I'm always having, because much of the people want to know which kind of the businesses, Gintu, are you running? Because you have come out with a brand new thing, and which is just a house without a complete, it's ongoing. You are again with a car. Much of the people are hesitating. They're getting it like it's something very controversial to them, and much of them are just talking about, oh, Gintu, are you scamming? There's no one is scamming here. The fact is sweat again, because there's nothing will ever come to a silver plate and you are just sitting and talking about, oh, God will make it. You will wait until a dog will ever take a brush to brush the teeth. It will never happen. The fact is wake up and make work. Wake up and go to work. Don't talk about, Gintu is always rotating at home. He has never traveled from Nyabuanse. He has never gone to maybe United States, maybe Canada. I'm coming to those kind of the country very soon because I'm determined. I want to make things happen. Because whatever people think about, this kind of the people will never have or will never make it. I'm coming to Canada. I'm coming to Dubai. I'm coming to United States. That is a fact. And it's just a bit of time. I finish the house only, then I make sure that the house is dependent on its own, then I'll just start the travel, and it will be chaotic, it will be more fantastic, it will be fantabulous, it will be every kind of an aspect of people watching and relating, and people will ever be watching and talking about this is the real way to go forward. And the vibe, talk about the vibe, we have to come out with the vibe, get into the United States of America, talking about yeah, man, conquer the Babylon, yeah, conky, yeah. Whenever I got to the Canada and the Canadian people there, are going to be coming to your air Canada, and they're going to be making sure the Canadians are going to be my friends here, and they are the shouting here, and here, yeah, man. And we're never going to be going to the Caribbean, yeah, man. Yeah, man, Ginto, man. Ginto, man. Ginto, man. Ginto, man. Ginto, yeah, man. Come to the Babylon slash and Malfire. Only hit slash I can ever never step on. Yeah. I'm going to be coming to those kind of the countries. I'm going to be rapping there and making it happen. I'm going to be coming to find Ras BG, wherever you are. I'm going to be shooting a video with you, man, and talking about it. You're going to be singing from your voice. I understand much of the things coming out from 10 to the 10 to the 10 to the 10 to the 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Yeah, gonna be coming, guys. I'm gonna be having that kind of a vibe there. Exactly. And it's just a matter of time. I'm planning for it. Maybe it's gonna be coming 2 years from now, but I'm planning today. Yeah, a person who is traveling is already planning it, has ever been planning, because a person to travel today to the United States, he has been planning it maybe from 6 months, maybe 1 year ago. And even a person who wants to travel from the American and approach to Africa has been planning for it maybe 4-6 months ago. So as they're going to be coming even a year that I'm coming to Africa. That is how we can talk about achievements are. For you to have an achievement at the end of this kind of a year. Because one time, as we went to Masai Mara, I have much of the quotation to give much of the boys. Because I was ever getting much of the things from Ayamaro himself. He talked about, Ginto, this a very car. We went to Masai Mara and we booked a safari vehicle that could turn us around Masai Mara National Park. And we paid 17,000 Kenya shillings, which was approximately like 150 US dollars. And Maro himself was talking about, Ginto, why are we paying so much of money? We can buy this kind of a car and hire. We can buy it. Guys, Ginto, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be buying this vehicle, safari vehicle, December, which was December last year. Somebody can get me. Which was December last year. And I talked about, that will be a good achievement for it. And it will be something very fantastic for you to do it. And at the long last, he ever did it. Even if it's a second hand, I never had any kind of achievement talking about one day I'm going to be buying a car. It was just rolling into my head that one day I'll ever become to a person who I want to be. And to the people who want to talk about, Ginto, how are you making it to happen? Because it's a matter of time. We have already gauged, you have ever sacrificed yourself, you have sat down and you have ever complicated yourself and talk about you have ever slept hungry. Once upon a time, for it to come, I'm always telling much of the boys who are working here that whatever they are eating today, it's not that we struggle it for today only. And the only thing is one that for you to have it for tomorrow, you should have planned it today, so as it can come tomorrow. And much of the people, I'm always telling much of the boys here that they're always checking on, Ginto, they're eating breakfast, lunch, supper, sometimes whatever. And I always talk about, there's a one day I slept hungry. There's a day I just talked about, no day I will ever slept hungry every time. Because it was a turning point of me. Because it was a famine during that time, it was a drive during that time, and we were just struggling to get even a meal of a day. And I talked about this is not the life that we could just be even getting. And the people are still, they cannot even get that a meal a day. Yeah, they're there. Because we have 1.1 billion people in the world who are always living in slums. And you can never tell me that those kind of the people who are living in slums, because of the slumming area it is, and alarming area and insecure area they are. You talk about there is food every time. There are people who are missing even a food. 1.1 billion people in the world, they're living in slums. You can understand it. So it's a fact that much of the people, not the way you are. Whenever you see you have worked up and talk about, to the living God, that everything is so fantastic and everything will be getting out very fantastic. And the little small you have to talk about how am I going to add it up. People think about today I've got 150. I have to talk about now this 150 is small money. It can never do anything into the ecosystem. I have to go and look for more money so as I can just start up a project. It doesn't appear that way. Make sure that the small thing you have, let it help you. Maybe tomorrow you get how can you, if you cannot know how to handle small money, how will you handle the bigger money? It will become so chaotic for you. So the biggest for you to do is one thing. Just struggle to make it happen. Because when I was I'm always relating you to how I was ever working to Amaro, because is a person who you know that is having much over the money, and also is having much over the influence also. So he could be having much of the things that he could not be. Maybe he could be a bigger person the way he is not right now, and much of the things. So I'm always relating this kind of the relation with Ayamaro, because much of the people are talking about, oh, Gintu will never be like Ayamaro. I'm talking about that's a matter of time. It doesn't matter that, oh, Gintu, you know what? It doesn't matter that, oh, you have to go this way, you have to go that way, and I have to follow whatever Ayamaro have ever been doing. I'm only have my own strategy, because he has ever invested in YouTube. I'm not investing in YouTube only, because I have very many things I'm doing. I have very many tenders I'm just supplying. I have schools that I'm supplying much of the, apart from the greens. I have much of the things I'm supplying to the schools apart from the greens. And the people doesn't acknowledge. In the hospitals, I have much of the things I'm doing. Every evening before I go to sleep, I have to make sure that I have tallied, I have processed whatever has got in and gotten out. Expenditure, the gross profit, and everything is calculated a day. And the real fact is some of the people talk about, oh, Gintu is waking up around 6, I don't know, 5, I don't know, 7, I don't know, 8. It doesn't matter. You can never know what I've just done for me to sleep in that kind of a manner. Because as long as you ever worked, I ever told much of the boys that I ever worked for no money for 3 months in one of the organizations here. And I was working, early in the morning. I have to wake up, use my own transport if the vehicle, or talk about the bus, has it's not available. If it's a weekend, the bus cannot come to pick the students, so as I can just get a lift from there. I had to use my transport money, which is, where could I get the transport money? Yet I was doing the attachment and getting from my home. I was having small green farm here that I was ever working with it and making sure that I was getting a little bit of small thing, so that I can just, and I was having a higher aim, not only to talk about I want to cook for this kind of the organization in terms of the wazungus here and there, but I knew that I knew that one day I have to make things happen, whereby not only engaging in small things, but aim higher. When I could be doing a simple job there, because much of the wazungus were talking about, oh, Gintu wanted to teach me in this one, or send me a recipe. They were sending a little bit of something, which was encouraging. And also, sometimes there could be a tip. Somebody can come, like Mzungu, and talk about, oh, I like the meal you have just prepared here, and I like how you are just doing it, and I like the nature also, and talk about this is your tip. And I talk about, oh, thank you very much, and God bless you too. That is the fact. And also, it's a way of making sure that it's a motivation. And I never lose hope, because how I was being treated as a chief chef, a young growing chief chef, it was not a way that a human being can be ever been treated. Because I went there and I was told that, imagine the hair was short, but I was told that that hair is too big in the kitchen. I have either to shave it or make sure that I'm wearing a chef's hat. And I talked about, okay, let me use the chef's hat and there's no problem. You know, we were in different tribes. They were just handling that kind of the organization. So for you to get a different tribe from them who is working there, you will have to be treated like a dog which has maybe eaten some of the eggs from your house. So for you to struggle and make it happen, you have to put all the talk about maybe you are jealous of something. No, you are maybe having some problems with them. You have to put it aside for you to make it happen. And the people who I went with them there, they had to drop before even the time reaches. And I was the only one out of 5 whom we were sent to that organization. And I was the only one who qualified for 3 months with no pay. So whenever I went to Kenge here to do a work, I knew it will be 50-50 maybe. Because whenever he's talking about I'm not going to pay you because you have monetized your channels, I talked about it's something which is not coming out clearly to me. And the fact has to come out clean. Because if we depend about it's always will be ever paid. That is what is getting bad to the boys. Sacrifice your life today and make it tomorrow. That is the fact I'm always telling the boys here. And telling whoever want to grow, sacrifice your life today for tomorrow. And don't think about, oh, you know, this kind of a person is doing this, can I do this way? You doesn't know the strategy. You doesn't know what that kind of a person has ever passed through to have that kind of a thing you are admiring. Even if you go to the yards, wherever people are buying much of the cars, if you don't only have cash money, there are people who are paying monthly installments, and they are people think about they're having so much money, but they're putting deposits, monthly deposits. Why can't they pay a lot of money all once and clear the whole bill and talk about, let me take this kind of a vehicle? But they are making sure that they're putting small installments. Because why was the small installment put? It's because a person can get a month 100,000 Kenya shillings, and talk about the installment is 30,000. Talk about that's so fantastic, and you can just get a vehicle and pay for it, which is a very meticulous and so observative manner. But the boys outside, they think about you have to get the full condition that, I have to be paid today because of I've worked. There are people working for free. So as they are aiming something, that's what I was aiming from Ayamaro. And for them to learn that I was aiming at something, I was so fast, so as I could be trusted. So as whenever anything comes, Gintu is selected to make sure that I'm learning from the new tech that's going to be developed onto that kind of the position. Whenever you tell me that, oh, Gintu, you know what, I'm going to Kisumu to have some, I always jump inside. Are you going for private, or you're going to be having a public mean for you to go? Maybe it's a public vehicle or a private vehicle. Okay, can I be part of you so as I can just have some 2-3 things to share with you and talk about, yes, we have experience. And people should notice that this is like a masterclass I'm giving to much of the people also, that never fear anybody. And I've ever told people that never unto your life be paid your own boss and talk about, I have to go and surprise my boss. Failure. Never unto your life. And this is just one secret I'm giving out. Never talk about you are always doing a work like I'm doing a work to Ayamaro. Then I talk about, oh, he has surprised me, or he has given me my monthly salary, or he has talked about, oh, there's somebody who has promised Gintu 100,000 Kenya shillings, and 100,000 is here. Then Maro himself give me, and I talk about, oh, you know, Maro has surprised me with a lot of money. Let me take this kind of amount of money, then give it to him and talk about, thank you very much. Or I go and buy some suits or buy some other things here and there and talk about, let me get it to him. You are a failure. You are going to fail, I'm telling you. Whenever anything comes from your boss and it has landed onto your hands, it means that the boss has much than whatever you're having. So make sure that take yours and live with an immediate effect. Don't go back, because whenever you go back, you are returning your blessings to him. And one day you'll ever chase you like something that you have never seen. And you are the one talking about, yeah, my boss, oh, surprise, maybe you bring some fruits to the office. Oh, my boss, I have some biggest chicken. You go and take your own cock there and talk about, let me rush it with it to the boss. Oh, I like... Have you ever seen this kind of the people? Somebody else you have ever seen such kind of the people? They don't progress in that company. They don't have anything theirs there. That is a fact I was ever been told since my childhood. Never ever go back to your boss and tell the boss that this is your surprise, like a chicken, like a goat. You are a loser. Your boss is your boss. Has ever become your boss or a leader. Whatever small you have ever been given, that is yours. Whenever you take it back, you are taking your own soul, which is your own blessings, taking them back. You'll ever been blessing him or her and thinking about you now, you are now putting your talk about your name in a standard way, and your soulmate or your company mate or your mate in that kind of the company will ever cherish and talk about, oh, everybody will be honoring, oh, the boss will talk about, oh, you will be talked the 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. Whenever 1 week is over, whenever you do any mistake, it will be the firing mistake of you. No even a warning. That is the fact. It's like whenever you are taking somebody to your boss, it's like you are now luring your boss that, you know what, this kind of a surprise, like you are luring him that you are not doing much good job, and now you have to lure so they can just look at you in a third eye. You're going to be losing it. And this is a call to one of the people who are growing and making sure that they are missing this kind of the points outside here. And this is what people are just losing it, and they are talking about, oh, you know, even my boss, I surprise my boss with a goat. Oh, I surprise my boss. He doesn't want to talk to me right now. I don't know what a bad have I done, or was the chicken sick? I don't know what kind of the things. It's gonna be defaulting you, and whenever you'll be told that you are fired, you'll just even kill yourself. That's a fact. You'll ever fail in the miscellaneous. You will just be compressed with the stress. And you'll feel about what have I done wrong to this kind of the person? What have I done wrong? Because last time we ever talked and he took my surprise and talked about this is how we go forward. But at long last you are fired. What is the real meaning of it? It's like you are luring him or her for you to occupy that space you are. They are not fools also. That is a one technique. I'm going to be giving you tips after tips. And whatever you're doing it, you're going to be thinking about it before you do something which is categorically not going hand in hand with the real life situation. Let's have that kind of a mind unto your own mind and grow with it. Even if you have the small children or small siblings, tell them as a fact. And also, the boss will never talk about, I don't want this kind of a surprise. He will pick it and talk about, that day you talk about, yeah, you are a very good person. You are the only person who have returned the hand. Hey, it's just for a day. 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. Make a mistake. You are done completely. You will be done completely. It will be like now you lured him or her with that surprise, so as you can be doing wrong things there. So you'll be fired, you will be vanishing from that kind of a position. So much of the people think about whatever small you get, it is yours. Use it correctly. The boss doesn't have anything to do with you. He has taken it from his own pocket and talking about this is yours. Why then return? Why return it? You'll be becoming a loser and you'll become a failure. That's the fact. So think before remanding your own absolute remandation or reconciliation, or think about the surprise. Let me tell you. Do you remember there's a time Pablo Jr. and Paris Momo, they bought a suit, and they just contributed and bought a suit and talked about you have made wonders. They went to Kenge and told Ayamaro, you have made wonders to us. Let's take this kind of a suit. And this is yours. A shoes, suit, very meticulous. When Pablo Jr. did a wrong thing, he was fired like a dog. No one can ever remember you did something good. You ever stress yourself, you took your own money and bought a suit. Who will ever remember? Think twice. Think twice. That's a call. That's a call. And also, it's also going hand in hand. You can see much of the people who ever took much of the things to Kenge. You're taking things to Kenge to do what? And that's why people lost it. People never understood that sometimes whatever small you have, better you remain the way you are than talking about I have to know this kind of a person so they can see me good and get a shout out. That's where the mess was coming from, because I'm ever telling people that's where the mess was ever coming from, and that's where Kenge has ever been luring people with the shout-outs where he doesn't know, and he knew that one day, one time, you'll never be found in that compound anymore. Look at that kind of a scam. And people are just talking about, oh, you know, I went with the sugar. Oh, you know, I went with the goat. Oh, you know, I went with this cooking oil. Oh, you know. That's what I'm always talking about. Can people get it? or people cannot get it. Think about it from wherever you are, and absolutely, you'll come to a conclusion of talking about a Gintu have said something. And to the people who want to engage in this kind of the way forward, don't see today, see tomorrow. See tomorrow. Don't see today. Because tomorrow is another day. God has blessed us with these minds of 2 days. Let's focus, bro. Focus. Hello, beautiful people. It's another day, blessed day that we are coming on. And the fact is, let me go straight to the point. And let's talk much of the action. This is the action of the talk. The fact has come out clean that we are going to have a meanderer of the day. Because we have already been thrown to a pogrom and a not Christmatic time that we're going to be challenged and getting the hibernation of the time and activation of the way to make sure that our lives are moving forward once and for all. The fact is that there's a war warming and there's a war broming coming very neatly, because right now somebody has taken over the villa. And right now, the owner of the villa is getting jealousy and jealousy. Right now, you're going to be seeing a war you have never seen in this world. Nyabohansa going to be having or occupying the third Nyabohansa war that's going to be coming from the demon who is right now taking over the responsibility of the Argentinian longnose in the compound of the villa. And is talking about she is now taking over the game. Who is who and who is to blame who? Right now, as from the history, all the people who ever dealt with the kitchen garden of the villa was ever thrown out like Safari Rally. Right now, there's another lady who has occupied the space saying about she is now taking over the game. So we are absolutely not understanding. Is she now going to be a gay there, or she is going to take over the game as she's going to be repressing Argentinian longnose? You can never take care of somebody's home without an intention, whatever your brother, but he has married, is having a person who can be taking care of it and sending much of the people to take care of it. But you are going with your own absconding and obsnotching mind and talk about, I want to take over the game. The war is warming. And this is how it's going to be very crooked. Because I've seen every time and then, if you doesn't understand, right now the demon, she is now taking over the game and she has settled at the villa for permanent. And she's talking about that's the only place she can stay because of the views and because of making sure that she is making videos now and again. Right now, she has taken the responsibility because the rain has rained already, and she's now talking about she's going to be taking care of the kitchen garden of the Argentinian longnose. Who sent her there? Argentinian longnose, they are not hand in hand with the demon. And the fact is, since the day the demon came to visit his own brother, and she came without any kind of appointment or any kind of a request that I want to check on my brother. And whenever she landed at the villa, she went upstairs and she found Argentinian longnose. And Argentinian longnose had a conversation that put this kind of the sarcasm together. And she asked, this is the demon asked the Argentinian longnose, that I want to see my brother. Is he available? She was told no one is allowed to check on Ayamarwa without an appointment, whatever who you are. And I've said you'll never see him until he wakes up. Because of what? I'm telling you, there's a war warming. Because right now, how Argentinian longnose she is feeling, because the demon, she is sleeping in Kenge's room. That is the fact. And she's now accessing all the rooms in that kind of the villa. And Argentina long she was ever talking about, I don't want to see any villager in my compound. Right now, there's a villager who is the sister to your husband. So what is going to take responsibility? Things gonna be getting worse and worse. The effect that comes here once is we're gonna be checking on who has the nyash, who is talking about the nyash is this way and the nyash is that way. And this is now the turning point of them. The another effect that has come already to our affidavit, it's where we have found that people have been misled. Right now, we have this kind of the sarcasm that is going and trending outside there because of the GoFundMe of the cancer treatment of Castor. It has become a business right now, and everybody is talking about how is this thing going to be handled? How is the other things going to be handled? The fact comes out once. Everybody was looking for his own, talking about, I want this, I want that. And they have found a minute of making sure that they are absconding their own affidavit and talking about a GoFundMe so they can just get their own most money that maybe they don't want to sweat upon it. And it's becoming a strategic thing that it's by faulting to the affidavit of the people. Right now we have this kind of the tragedy that's going on with Castor. Whatever she is, a repossession to her. But to the people fighting and to the street, they're fighting about who is to contribute and who is to take care of the GoFundMe. GoFundMe. Things are getting worse. Another scenario I've seen is one that people are being told that you have to do this and do that for the moment of becoming a celeb. And right now it's what is trending outside here. And people have not yet got it. I'm still in it, and I'm going to be giving you much of the respondent about what is really meant to this kind of the sarcasm and the protrombic ways of moving forward. Right now, there is things to get forward. And let's strive to make it, because we have seen what is now Kenge coming out with the absolutely mindful things. Like talking about people should just go for the shout-outs, and people never understood this kind of the shout-out we are talking about. You have seen the real correct affidavit of the shout-out. You have to go and surprise and impress him while you are losing it. Right now, no one who ever brought much of the things talking about I have to give you even a cooker. Right now, he can never or she can never be recognized unto the villa. That's how people have been made the excavators and the graders. They start up the road whenever it's stomached. You're told that you have to be carried in another truck that never did anything in that kind of the road for it to pass through there. That is the point we are talking about. People are being cheated that, you know what? Come out clean, bring some of the surprisement, bring them to my own villa, give you the shout out, and whenever you go back and talk about the shout out you gave me, can I baptize it? You are being told that you are given it so as you can struggle on your own. And that was the failure I'm ever telling to the people that they never knew that was the failure of Kenge. People never knew it was a trick for him to get forward and get money from them. Because if you analyze critically and come to your own common senses of Brangata, and hypothalamus is ringing into your head very commonly, you'll understand that the shout-out, it was not meant for anybody, but it was meant for only people who could bring the surprises unto the villa. And when you surprise and make things happen, you are never ever told anything else apart from being told you are welcomed again and again to the villa. And whenever it comes to the scenario, now you want to go back, you're told, do you have an appointment? Don't you see how things were being analyzed? And whoever took much of the things to Kenge, where are they? Look at that point. Where are they? All the people who took their own things from their homes, maybe they slept hungry, took much of the cooking oil, took much of, apart from a few of them who had extra energy to make it happen. Where are others who took sugar, who took cooking oil, who took goats? Where are they? They are now suffering to the streets of Kenya and streets of Nyabuanse. They have even seen Nyabuanse, it's a no-go zone again. They can never come back because of what? There's nothing of them going to be finding here. Much of the people, and I'm surprised with one of the boys whom I went and I found to Ayamaro there, and he was struggling to make it. He's called Romy Is Me. And this guy is making wonders. He has changed the content from talking about Kenge and water and whatever Nyabuanse shenanigans telenovela. He has changed it to talking about what is trending in Kenya. That is the best moment ever, which is one of the biggest moments that people can just come out and talk about. This is the moment to cheer it up. But the other stupid allegations and squammers that people come out and talk about, you know what, come and I will just protect you. And whenever talk about I want the protection and the baptism, you talk about you need an appointment for you to come back to the regionum. What is that one? Failure. And that is what is absconding the movement of the people from one place to another. And right now, people are no longer available in the platform. You have ever seen it? Much of the people, where are they? They ever been one of the most popular people in the villa. And when I want to tell people that never ever think about the person who is down will never come up. Nobody could ever talk about, oh, this is called Gintu. Can I give a shout out? Guys, I'm telling you, for us to survive up to date, we have found it rough. We have found it rough. We are ever talking about, hey, my friend, can I get a shout out? You absconded the laws of the Kenge. You can never be getting a shout out from me. I don't want to appear bad in Kenge's position because he is the one who is controlling Nyabuanse YouTubers. That's a fact. They see Gintu onto your platform, you are done. And they think about their life is only surviving in Kenge's position. I told people that both parties pay. And much of the people are thinking about, oh, Gintu, how are you making it happen? The house is ongoing. And people are crying outside there. There's bad of the economy. This and that and this. I always tell people that your determination of today reflects tomorrow. If you determine that you will never leave Kenge and talk about you will ever be staying there to be like a cheering squad, you will ever be a cheering squad and you will be watching and watching apart from you being watched. You'll ever be continuing watching Kenge, and Kenge is never being my role model. It's just a person who has taught me how things are coming out, and I've evidently come to know that this is the real life of how life has to go on. And the mistreatment and the distreatment and disgracing, it is there in the life. That's why a river is always having the meanders of the day. But it has to flow, water has to flow direct. It has to go here and there, apart from knowing that maybe it might be having where water is cool, where water is going straight, where water is very normal, where water is slow, everything, all the postquams or the osquams are there in the river meanders. But at long last of the day, we have to say that tomorrow is another day. And for the people who thought about both parties pay, whether you are in Kenge position, nor you are no longer available, who talk about this kind of the people who have to rectify their own mistakes, you are gonna be making it. Don't think about, oh, A, B, C, D. Let's make it happen. We are we. we should be we gonna be we have to be we. And this is our own way and a say that if we want to go forward, I ever brought this kind of the thing to the table and people thought about it, it's a scam. I told people that one day we're going to be joining and the people going to be joining, and the people who ever saw Ginto bad, you'll ever come and talk about Ginto, I never knew. People now are joining. We are increasing in terms of levels. We will never be at the same level. We are increasing. And the more we increase, the more we relate with other people coming in. And the more we relate, the more we tally, the more we make things happen. And people just wonder one day,